Welcome back to the Greener Lawn. Today I'm going to be applying 1801, which is Greene Punch, and I'm going to be applying my PreEmergent, which is going to be Prodiamine. Stay tuned. So I got this in the mail today. It's a sprayer tip for my BL25E from Sprayers Plus. What it's supposed to do is give me 8-foot swaths as I'm going so that I can do this a lot quicker. What it is the connector, the actual nozzle, and then it has a strainer filter. Let's see how well it works. So with this tip change, all it is just simply removing the old tip. Pulling out the kit for the new tip, which includes the nut to lock it down, the actual tip, and then this filter right here. I'm going to take the old ring that was on the inside of the old one, I'm going to put it in so that it seals a little bit better also. So you just take the tip, drop the tip in, put this little ring in there, drop this filter into place. Should be good to go. Let's test it. So as you can see, I hit the edge on this side, and it looks like I have a pretty solid spray because you can see the water on the actual tape right here, and it goes all the way out to the 8. I feel confident that it's hitting 7 feet really well on this. It's a little bit more heavy in the middle, but with the evaporation on each side, you're actually pulling about 7.5 feet. So I'm actually going to split out my two apps. My 1801 I'm going to split out from my Prodiamine. I'm not going to apply those together. They both require quite a bit of water, and going through my backpack sprayer, I just can't put down enough water on my application to satisfy both of them at the same time. So I feel more confident if I apply each one of them individually. I'm going to be applying only to 3,000 square feet because my backyard's not going to get anything because the renovation has not started there. So we're only in my front yard. So today I'm going to be doing a split app. I'm not going to be using my Prodiamine with my 1801 at the same time. They both need a lot of water to go down. So I feel better if I do them in a split app. I'll do this separately, and then I'll do my 1801 by itself.
For the Greene Punch, I did a split app on it. I did 30 ounces and 30 ounces so that I had 20 ounces per 1,000 on my 3,000 square feet. I did it in 2 applications to keep the 7-to-1 dilution mix ratio.
So for my PreEmergent, I'm going to be using Prodiamine, and I'm going to be putting it down at 0.40 ounces per 1,000. So for the 3,000 square feet that I'm going to be applying it to, I'm actually going to be applying 1.20 ounces of product. I'm going to be putting it down at a lighter rate just in case in the fall I do want to hit it. I don't plan on running anything in the fall because I am going to do a split app. I'm actually looking at doing prodiamine and then dithiopyr so that I have that actual tandem working for me throughout the season. So one of the things I had to do was wait for the wind to die down, because you cannot be applying it in the wind and have drift. That's one of the worst things. So now that the wind has died down and I don't have any wind, I can actually apply it. So for today's application, I actually chose only to do the prodiamine in the 1801 Greene Punch instead of my Humic 12, because I wanted something that I could carry a little bit longer, about a week, week and a half, as the temperature fluctuates and moves down and moves up. Kind of want to give it another hit of something. And so I split the Humic 12 out on purpose because I want to move it to next week, possibly the following week, just to hit it when the temperature stabilizes a little bit, to kind of give it a boost. Where I've given it the nitrogen this week, where I've given it its first round of pre-emergence, I needed something that would hold out in the soil for a little bit longer. That's the nice thing about this plan, is that looking at it, you can tailor it to your needs. It doesn't have to be strict regimented. Yes, you want to have certain times, certain applications, but the nice thing is that you can look at it and you can tailor it to your needs. So I actually, like I said, am going to be moving that Humic 12 hit to about a week and a half, 2 weeks out, when my temperatures quit fluctuating. This week they're supposed to be in the 60s. Next week I'm supposed to get temperatures back down into the 30s. I wanted to give my grass a little boost just in case it started to stress a little bit. I'd have something on tap. And that Humic 12 is just the perfect thing to stimulate my grass, the microbes, and to kind of get it going again if there is any kind of freezes.
So this is the exact reason why I held the Humic 12. Over my shoulder you see that it snowed. The Humic 12 is actually applied 3 days ago, so this snow is going to stress out my turf just a little bit. The temperatures did drop into the lower 30s. I think it's still sitting at about 34 degrees. That's when it snows the best kind of here in Utah. Down here in the valley anyways, we don't really get real freezing snows, which kind of makes it nice, but it makes it a heavy snow. So this is going to be heavy, wet, and this is why I held the Humic 12, so that I had a nice boost that I could give this as it came out of these like periods of time. Even if I didn't hold it the way that that plan was made, I still would be able to hit it with something. I'd have stuff on tap. That's the reason why I like to have a lighter schedule that's fewer in between, but be able to read my lawn and make the changes.
With this, my first application for the season, other than my sulfur, I'm looking for a slow green up because it is the end of March. I'm not looking for anything super fast. The microbiology down in the soil has not woken up fully yet at this point in time. Temperatures are still a little low at 52 degrees. So this is one day after. So this is actually one day after I applied my 1801 Greene Punch, and you can kind of see that it's greening up a little bit, but it's not really responding extremely fast. The temperatures are dipping down pretty low at night. It's still getting into the 40s, high 30s. Next week, we're supposed to get into the low 30s again. So once again, that's the reason why I'm holding off on the Humic 12. So I didn't get a real extremely quick response from it like I normally see when I apply this 1801 Greene Punch, but it is responding. It is a little bit slower. It's to be expected coming out of winter, but we're gonna have a decent solid green up here in a couple of days. So I know that we're all getting extremely excited because spring is sprung and it's coming slowly for a lot of people. Mine is kind of teasing me during the day with those 60-degree temperatures. So I got out and I did apply, and I got the pre-emergent down because I am at about 52 degrees in the soil. So this week's question is, what are you actually going to be going out and hitting your yard with first? Are you going to follow my recommendations on my plan and go out with a nitrogen hit early on in the spring and then get your pre-emergent down? Are those your hits that you're going to go out with? Are you going to follow my plan all the way and actually add the Humic 12 in there also? Solid hits. Like I said, it's all to be tailored to what you're doing. Looking at my schedule for this season, I do have a lot of things that are going on in my lawn. And so there are a lot of things to look forward to this season. I'm excited. I'm excited to have you guys around, and I'm excited for what we're going to have this year. I'm Jeremy of the Greener Lawn, Maker Green. For those of you who stuck around and were wondering what was going on with my face, besides the fact I was born this way, I was doing some skin treatments because of the basal cell carcinoma that I had removed. I have some spots that I just have them check out and then they remove for me. That brings up a very valid point for this season. Please guys, please be using sunscreen. Be using protective layers on yourself. Make sure you're wearing hats. Make sure you're wearing sunglasses. You use your PPE. It's super important. Those things go a long way. When you put sunscreen on, apply it more than once. You need to apply it by the directions on the label. That means every 2 hours be putting it on. I know I might be preaching to the choir, but it is something near and dear to me, reason why I have these spots on my face and stuff. So please just keep it in mind.
Next level.